Greetings, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Europa, episode 13. Howdy, crew. So, last stream, what did we work on? We largely worked on the Ogre Tunnel, which is a mining, burrowing tunnel, and the Ogre Tunnel is down there. That right there in the middle of the screen is the Ogre. And then we wrapped up towards the end of last stream, setting up some solar, which I want to fix at the start of this stream, and then I'll be turning it over to you about what you guys would like for me to do. So, in a second here, well, not a second, a few minutes, I'm going to open it up to viewer suggestions. Kellyanne and Jason, thank you for the resub and the sub alike. Welcome to the stream. Let me update the priorities. Fix solar. Instead of build it, we'll just fix it. So, in order to fix it, it's relatively easy. Let's space these out properly. So what I'm going to do, disassemble these. Whoa!
Temperature low.
Of course I did that.
Temperature critical.
Let's call it a little rusty. Alright, so disassemble those two. Obviously I have super frozen my base, so I'm going to have to remedy that in a minute. But we are going to change the angles of stuff here in a second. So 2 solar has been plucked up. You gotta make sure not to hit your windows like that. Haste makes waste. Alright, and then we're going to change the wiring here. And the data. So that wire and this wire are going to get fixed. Like this, this, and this. This data cable can be moved. I'm ultimately going to reroute the data a little bit as well. We need a few more cables. And I guess my next goal is to heat the base back up, because popping that window off made it very cold. I guess I'll put my suit back on. Alright, so now that these are set up, make sure that the power faces outwards, the data inwards. 1 and 2. And then slap the glass back on. Now that hasn't fixed it. What I need to do to fix it is to change the angle of this solar sensor. So first thing, I'm going to go over to the logic readers here and turn those off. And then let's change the angle so it's going to be faced like that. I'll stick this here because aesthetics mean nothing to me. So, a little reminder, our solar panels were angled wrong about 90 degrees, so what I did was I rotated that 90 degrees to offset that. So then we come back over here to the logic reader and select the daylight sensor, and this is the vert logic reader, so we grab the vertical angle, done. And then this, same deal, the daylight sensor and the horizontal angle, done. And now our solar panels are correct. And they will be facing the sun. Or, I think they will. Time will tell. So, one thing I'm going to have to do is to heat the base back up, because I screwed that up. So, let me go ahead and do that now, while I let you guys filter on in. So, Tiskaran, Arkrune, thank you for the gifted out the community subs, and Kellyanne for gifted community subs twice over as well. And a hydrate I missed. Petro for the resub, and Arkrune for the resub. And Scumdog and Glitch for bits. Cheers. Celebrating how I break my own windows. I love it. Alright, let's get out there and heat it back up, because I don't want it cold if I can help it. So the green light means go. No storms are in the horizon. And living under a rock, welcome to your first stream. And thank you for the follow a few hours ago. Or an hour ago. Alright, so that's outwards. There's basically nothing in this chamber anyway. Good. So in order to heat the base back up, I'm just going to use the furnace power, because that has been super helpful. We'll go with 6 vols and 3 ox. That should be enough. In fact, if I can get it extra warm, then I might consider connecting the ogre tunnel as part of the base. This, because I don't have any plants going on right now, might be a good time for it. Alright, so it is hot, and let's get inside. In fact, how about I ask you right now, should I pressurize the ogre tunnel? Yes or no? Let's give you 5 minutes on that. Scumdog, thanks for all the gifted subs, and Arkrun as well. You guys are way too kind. Way too kind. Cheers. All right. And we are heating up. Let me get the ammo analyzer so that I can figure out by how much. Yep, we are at like 1113C, something like that. $17, $21, and climbing. I can let it climb, I don't really care. It has to, it's not ubiquitous heat yet. It has to sort of travel around the base. Something else I want to do is, and this is long overdue, a ladder. I'm just gonna, instead of putting stairs back in, I'm just gonna build 2 ladders and do it that way. So 2 ladder kits. Where's my second ladder kit go? Oh, there it is. So one will be a ladder platform, and the other a ladder. There, done. All right, we'll see if I have fixed this. If I haven't, I'll tune it to make sure it is fixed. The other thing I'm going to do is put in flooring, I think. So I'm going to print up some floor grates so that it's a little bit easier to walk around in the base. I'm not really installing anything on the floors, or at least not at the moment. So floor grates make sense, and it's very, very quickly tempered again in the base. It's like 30°C right where the radiator is, and then, of course, a little bit colder as you move away. It'll equalize, but it is so easy to have a temperate base on Europa when you have an atmosphere of oxygen. Alright, I think I'm going to go with floor grating type 3 here. And this just installs underneath everything, and will allow me to walk through airlocks and the like way, way, way more easily. And then if I need access to anything, I can just crowbar the floor grating up. I went with type 3 so that I can see underneath easiest. So I can see the wiring, the logic, all that jazz. Trying not to hide it, but this is not so much aesthetic as it is allowing me to traverse the base a lot more easily. Alright, I need 2 more. It looks pretty good, I think. And inconclusive about this ogre tunnel project, whether I do it or not. So if you haven't voted yet, please vote. You might be the deciding vote. So there we go. Floor panels everywhere. A ladder over here. And my solar, which seems to be facing the wrong direction, but we'll see when the sun comes up. Cyrus who? Oh man, I'm sure I butchered it. Sorry. Thank you for the bits. And welcome. So, a quick assessment of my wealth here. I am more or less out of steel. So that's another project that I'm going to want to do, is to get some steel up and running. So that I can print more fun things. But even before that, give me the portable light. So a portable light is going to allow me to illuminate my work area a little bit easier, and now that I have wireless batteries, there's no real reason to not use a portable light. Before I got the wireless batteries, is kind of out of convenience because portable lights can be kind of annoying to tote around. But got wireless batteries now, so let's go for that. So the way this works, it's a little weird, but you can stick this portable light in your backpack and turn it on. So insert the battery, click it to turn it on, pick it up, and stick it in your backpack. It does take up space, but allows you to turn off your suit battery, which will preserve the life of your suit. And as you can see, it is illuminating around me. It's not so much a task light, so if you're trying to do something that requires your headlamp, you still need a headlamp, but yeah. There you go, portable battery, illumination. Something that's a little long overdue. And Master Scytha, thank you for the sub. And Tannering for the resub. And Master Scytha for bits. Holy cow. A lot of love for Stationeers today. Alright. Ogre Tunnel is tied. So let's go ahead and flip a coin. We'll leave it up to chance. Where is my coin? Here it is. Heads is we'll do the Ogre Tunnel. And tails is we want. It is tails. So no Ogre Tunnel. What that means is I am going to take projects from you all instead. So let me open up the suggestion box. Now your projects should be projects that only take about an hour or so to do, because that's as much time as I'm going to spend on them. So these look backwards to me. So let me fix this. And I'm gonna go outside and repair the, clean up the cabling as well, because there's a lot of old cabling here. And I'll open up the suggestion box in just a second. So, in order to fix this, what I have to do is go down, crowbar up the two grates that cover up the logic. Now there are logic hatches or whatever, but I don't. I didn't design this to use that. Go over to the daylight sensor, and this is vert. And then I turn it off first, just so that I'm not writing really weird values to it. It's particularly useful to turn it off when you're writing to memory, so you don't screw up whatever you were writing to memory. So this is supposed to be horizontal. Alright, before I put on the... Okay, there we go. It is now 199% efficient. That's about as good as it gets. One could make the argument that it should have 3 floor panels here as well, but I'm not going to bother with that just now. Bye-bye logic. And opening up that inbox. There you go. I can't believe that the furnace made it 25°C, which is perfect temperature everywhere in the base by just flicking a little valve. It's so low tech. It's so low tech. To take a look at the Atmo that we have here, I guess I already have the analyzer. Perfectly growable, perfectly breathable. Lovely. Alright, if you have suggestions, let me know. The inbox is up and open. And I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of mining for steel. Because I'm going to require it in a minute for whatever projects that you have in mind. That's why you think Europa is one of the easiest planets to play on? Yeah. Europa is definitely one of the easiest planets to play on, unless, of course, you're a robot. If you have the DLC where you're a robot, then it's pretty brutal, because the batteries on robots drain really, really, really fast in cold temperatures. So you're going to be, out of power all the time. But only if you're a robot. Alright, curious if, so here, when you're mining, the portable light is less useful, because you kind of need to see like straight ahead often, and that's not its strong suit. And it casts like harsh shadows and all that. So I don't often use it, but it does prolong battery life for the suit when you're not having to use your headlamp. Or you could just crank your gamma all the way up, but like you're playing Rust. But I don't really like to do that. It's ugly. Alright, so that is 100 coal. And now I'll just go for some iron. And be done. So I'm going to want a lot of iron to make a giant batch of steel. I'd like to start doing, because I know that watching me mine is not exactly maybe the most intriguing. So what I want to do is I want to do like really large batches so that I don't have to do it very often. Luckily with the Mark II drill, this is not as time or labor intensive as it would have been with these starter tools. I need some volatiles, why not? Oh, some cobalt. Cobalt is, of course, one of the ingredients for the Miracle Heal Pill. So it always helps to have a little cobalt on hand, because you never know. So I need 300 iron to make the batch of steel here. And then also, another thing to keep in mind, because I'm putting so much raw, cold ore into the furnace, I'm going to need to stoke the furnace a little bit more than I would have otherwise. You know, the greater the volume, the more the furnace will pressurize, and then the more the furnace will cool as a result of all these ores getting thrown in there. So doing huge batches of stuff, you have to keep that in mind. Oh, come on, I need like 9 more iron. And here we go. There, got it. So, Quiet Tony, I'm going to refund yours. I already have all that. I have Mark II stations for everything already. And look at my little solar panels. Angled perfect. Exactly how I want it. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to do 10 and 5. Please stay hot enough. Some of the suggestions here I'm just going to veto because they're not things that I ever intend to do. They're not part of like the ultimate goal. So like chickens, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. For those that don't know, chickens in this game suck. They're horrible. There's virtually no point unless you really, really, really want eggs, but none of my goals include eggs, so I couldn't care less. Alrighty. Temperature, please stay high. Good. 400 steel. While I'm here, I might as well put the gold through and then the spare iron through. Vent it out. And we're golden. Final. That is a repeat. Someone already proposed that, so I'll refund you. Great minds think alike. So although this isn't one of the goals, I'm going to build one more solar, because there's no point in leaving that spot that's just open. Do I... Oh, I have glass. Great. I didn't clean up the cables either. Suppose I gotta do that too. So data in, power out, and done. Free solar. Alright, let's clean up the cables, and then I'll poll you about next project. So I'm gonna write some of my own suggestions in here too, just to stoke some ideas, if you want. So we have the trade, build a trade station, play with igniters. Not really sure what I would even do if that was voted on. Automate heating. So not low-tech heating. Expand solar. Or build an easier-to-use furnace. I'm also going to include some of my own. Work, pressurize ogre tunnel, and work towards the penthouse loft. And there you go. Thank you for your ideas. I'm going to pause it for now. I'm actually going to refund everybody that has suggested things, and that will be my next goal. So yeah, let's clean up some of the wires. The wires that I want to clean up are the ones that are part of the solar panel network over here that are unnecessary. Which is weird, because nothing else I've done is aesthetic, even remotely aesthetic, and here I am trying to clean up. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Now I'm gonna have to rewire up the daylight sensor anyway. So I'm actually gonna move the daylight sensor to be. You know what? I might as well move it to the roof, the ceiling. So it's like makes sense. So yeah, I'll put it up top. I mean, it's makes the most sense that it'd be up there, right? So it was facing with ports that way. Got it. There. So I'll get the daylight sensor moved, and I cleaned up all the other cables. So the daylight sensor won't be just, like, sitting on the ground there. All right. If you haven't voted yet, feel free to vote on one of these projects. You have about 3 minutes left, just shy. And TX, Dirk, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the crazy Europa stream, where I haven't died yet. The game has tried to crush me multiple times, but I am still alive. I'm really surprised, not to call you out specifically, Glitch, but I'm really surprised that there's a task that I can think of that you didn't propose, and it's, like, totally a task that I would have expected you to have proposed by now. So, I'm sort of curious if you can think of what it is. Maybe next time around. What is the amount of this gravity? It's like 42%. Oh, right, because this is not a frame. I can't build here. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Is there a place I could put this? You know, I'm lazy. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to put this back. I forgot about the whole, you can only build on frames baloney that they sometimes task you with. Hey, Viper, congrats on the 10K bit badge. Thank you. Cheers. Yay for oversleeping. Ah, you were trying to decide between kitchen or cladding the outside? It was the kitchen that I thought you would propose, and I was surprised that you hadn't yet. And it looks like I'm going to be building an easier-to-use furnace, which is a pretty quick task to do. So, I'll get that done in just a second as soon as I set up the daylight sensor. Maybe I could put it here. Why not? Doesn't really matter. All it really matters is that it is angled correctly. Everything else is superfluous. That's not a terrible spot for it. It's functional, and it's not somewhere I'm going to step on constantly. Now, let's fix these. So, this is the vert. I feel like I've done this a bit. Vertical's done, and this is the horizontal. Cool. Okay, looks like we're going to build an easier-to-use furnace. Got it. So, current priority. Build an easier furnace. Alright, looks like these are... Well, I'll check them when the sun comes up. Hey, Cheese! Isn't it like an ungodly hour for you? And... aren't you on a bit of an unfortunate bank error budget right now? Well, why are you even gifting out subs? Shame, jeez. Thank you. I'm kidding. I hope that all gets sorted. So I'm gonna want some chutes here to make an easier furnace. I think that's probably the answer. Like any typical American. What's the answer? Shoot it. Yeah, I know. It's a bad joke. How's Yoda doing today? He's good. He's a little wet. It was raining outside. Well, more than raining. Okay, let's fix this furnace. I'm also going to open up the viewer submitted idea right now because this won't take too long. This will be a pretty quick one. So if you have other ideas, feel free to submit them. Oh, and sorry, the missed puppy treat. That's my fault. So not only do you get puppy treats, but you get a free Yoda can with it. Double the treats. Because, you know, if I forget, you benefit. Alright, so I'm going to remove the... Whoa. Maybe not yeet them. I'm going to remove the vents. Yeah, I'm probably going to remove everything here and just sort of do it over again. So it's cleaner and easier to use. Also means that this arc furnace, I could probably get rid of. I haven't touched this thing in a long time. So let's get this thing out of here as it's a relic of the past. my solar... Okay. Looks like the solar panels did wire up correctly. They're pointing towards the sunrise. The other problem is I'm in the shadow of the sunrise, because this giant mountain, which is not currently fully rendering, blocks the sunrise, which means that I get less solar power than, like, as you can see on the horizon, it's already bright, because they're not in the shadow of this this mountain. But whatever. I'm not going to blow up a mountain to undo that. Too much work. Alright, so an easy-to-use furnace. Let's figure that out. One thing I could do is put it sideways. Right? It doesn't really need to be up or down. It could be sideways, that's fine. And then we can set it up with chutes so that the sideways furnace works. But, like, my brain probably wants it to be upright still. Just because it's how I'm used to seeing it. So I think what I'll do is I'll correct the jumping stuff with the chutes that I have. So I've centered it on the frame so that we have a little bit more wiggle room to work with. And then let's add chutes. So for intake, that's going to be really, really easy to do. I would just need an inlet. In fact, I don't even need this here. Just an inlet. Oh, what? Inlets can't attach? Okay. I lied. Let's do a chute window. A corner. And an inlet. So, in order to put stuff in it, I just look up and stick it in. I don't have to jump anywhere. And then... I'm going to get rid of this window. Windows cost a little bit more. I don't know if I'm going to have the amount I need for it. And then when it's done, it pops out here. Don't have to go anywhere. So then the rest is just plumbing. It's just the piping. So this is the output. So the output should be... I might need more pipes, because I want to be able to operate it, its pressure, standing here. So these things need to come closer to me, which means I will need more pipes. You can kind of see how this is going to be a lot easier to use. So this will be the output... Or is that the input? Yeah, I think that's input gas. And I'll label the vents as well. And this is the output. So, there. Little furnace station here. Let's get more pipes. Looks like I have a lot of viewer suggestions, so... Bumper, I'm going to refund you on that one. I'm just not going to be doing that. Oh, Backroad Runner suggested the same thing. Oh, you guys. The suggestion, if you were wondering, was blow up the mountain. The very thing that I was like, I won't be doing that, because it's a lot of work. You have to remember, I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. It's actually my whole modus operandum, or operandi for this, for the series, which is to do the absolute minimum amount of work so that I can get more projects done. Because anyone that has played Stationeers before knows that you can spend a long time on complex systems, but that's kind of boring for the user, for the viewers, I think, because you end up not actually getting a lot done because you're just tinkering with one system continually, which is probably less than ideal. What is going on? Stupid errors. Alright, let's finish this off. And I probably take like one more suggestion. I think there's space for 8 on the pole. Although I haven't vetted them all. All right, so then the other thing I could do here is pipe labels. It's the first time we're going to use pipe labels. So this and this, I don't have my labeler though because I'm an idiot. We'll have labels on it so that I can very clearly indicate which one is intake, which one is output, so that I don't have to remember, you know, sort of idiot proofing a bit. Pausing the redemptions. Every combination except for the one I want. Because of course. Alright, so the top is... I gotta remind myself. Top is output. So this should be... inward. Set inward. Or, it's currently outward, this is inward. So, yes, this is configured correctly. Let me just get the labeler now. And while I do that, I'll pull. Next project. Build a kitchen, build a trade station, clad the outside of the base, add base atmospherics, build solar out of the shadow, build solar on top of the mountain. Which kind of back road I'm going to refund you, because that's more or less what Icarus said. Or build solar... I guess I'm going to summarize all of that, like... build solar not in shadow. How's that? That's all of them combined. And then expand the wind farm. Build a gas fuel generator. Work on, or pressurize the ogre tunnel. Work on the mountain penthouse. Okie dokie. A lot of goals there. What do you think you want me to work on? It's up to you. Much nicer. Why am I over here? Food. Alright, looks like all of my batteries are completely topped up and full. Cool. And then I was grabbing the labeler. So, this is input. Input vent. Output vent. There. Now it's for dummies. Well, literate dummies. Which I barely qualify. But dummies. Great. I guess I have to prove the concept, right? It's not done until I actually use it, because I could have screwed it up somehow, so let's go smelt some things. With so many options, can we revote the top 3? Sure, Spicy Jazz. Absolutely. Happy to do it. So, what am I smelting? 1 gold, 12 iron, 1 copper. Oof. This is awful. I guess tiny batch. Microbatch. Artisan ore smelted by Venusian scientists. I'm a nut job. Yep. Alright, there we go. Microbatching. Just the way it is. Can I smelt top-tier alloys in that forge? No. In fact, I will not be able to smelt top-tier alloys because it's not allowed. If you read the additional rules, no advanced furnaces, which means it's not possible to have top-tier alloys. It also might not be a bad idea to have light out here because it's dark, but, you know, that's easy to do. Alright, so with such a microbatch, I'm just going to do 2 volatiles. Oh god, am I still going to have to jump? That shouldn't be input, that should be a bin. Because, you know, inputs don't work like that. So see, we needed to prove the concept and I already see errors. Give me 1 second. I find it annoying that this thing is unpowered, but yet still needs a drill to get removed. And then bins require... I think I'm going to have the bins be a little bit closer to me. Bins also require power, so I'm going to have to power it up. And I'm not entirely sure I have enough cabling. Okay, I am entirely sure I don't have enough cabling for that. And then with no power, nothing gets sent, as you can see. So, more cycling of the airlock. The good news is we definitely have an airlock. So let's do a tiebreaker on the top 3 options, which is 1, 2, and 4. So here's your tiebreaker. Hey, Roll. Thanks for the resub. How's it going? How's Twitch streaming been treating you? Good, I hope. I see that your quest for partner went through. Congratulations. That's awesome. It's been treating me pretty good, too. Yeah, you got the check mark. What, how long did you have to wait for your partnership, application to go through? Because I'm a moderator on the Twitch subreddit, and, that question gets asked a lot, and I haven't obviously applied in a long time, so I'm sort of out of the loop as to the time it takes. Which is better to use, a wall heater or cooler or the AC unit? It depends on how you're using the AC unit. The AC unit... So the wall cooler and the heater are more to regulate the temperature, in my opinion. They're more ideal to regulate the temperature that you already have in the base, whereas the AC unit is probably best to introduce new gas into the base. So if you have a rather temperate base, wall coolers are way more power efficient than wall heaters. So it's better to cool than to heat, because heating takes a lot of power. And on Europa, cooling is very easy to do. You don't even need a wall cooler. You would just need a digital pipe valve to turn it on and off when you wanted to introduce cold air from outside. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to use the AC unit, and there are, last I checked, some exploits with the AC unit to make it work in a very strange way. The atmospheric AC unit is probably one of the weirdest devices in the game, the way it functions. Because why not? It's just the way the game works. Unnecessarily complicated ridiculousness is Stationeers in a nutshell. Alright, so there we go. Proof of concept seems to be working. It would be nice if this, like, automatically went every time. But whatever. And then, whoa! That's cool. So now I don't have to jump or anything. Bonk! And there's my ore. So it's done. And then output gas on. This should depressurize it. And it does. Wow, rather quickly too. Furnace is relatively empty, and I can walk away. So, furnace project is done. Your application took 11 days to go through? Wow, that is remarkably fast. They must have really wanted you. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of people wait weeks and weeks, so it's very cool. Oh, there was a cable in there. So the furnace project is done, and it looks like we're going to do base atmospherics, which is funny, because like I have no use for base atmospherics, so it's going to be my interpretation of our base atmospherics demands, which is to say, storing some oxygen and carbon dioxide, I guess, because that's all we really need. So let's start on that, and let me update the priority here. Commoner, thanks for the follow. So, for base atmospherics, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want, ideally, to have a spare tank of oxygen and carbon dioxide. That's kind of the gases that we're going to need in the base. We need carbon dioxide only because we do farm, technically. Although I haven't really been farming in a while. Let me plant some crop here while I'm doing nothing else. So 2 potatoes. 2 pumpkins, and 2 corn. Might as well. So most of this work is going to be done on this pipe bending unit. So what you're going to be looking for... Actually, I think I'm going to keep... So there's a bunch of different types of tanks. I think I'm going to keep it in non-portable tanks. No, I'll have you vote. How should I store base gas? Portable tanks or static tanks? So the advantage of portable tanks is I can move them around if I want. And also, I have one right here. This is a portable tank of oxygen. The advantage of static tanks is you install them and they have higher pressure tolerances. So they don't go boom as easy. Either way, our demand for atmospherics in this base is pretty low, so the chance of me going boom is really low, because it's not like I'm going to be pressurizing it much. So, you know, I should have planted these ferns, because they're going to die anyway, but oh well. Maybe these will grow to maturity and I can plant the ferns back. Get another, medical pill, because I have silver and cobalt in spades. Alright, so it looks like static tanks are winning. I'm not going to have the giant static tanks because they're ridiculously large. So we're going to go with probably tank insulated tanks, because they don't interact with atmosphere. And that way I can install them outdoors and it won't matter. So we'll need a lot of silicon for that task. So let me go get some silly. So the plan is to just store CO2 and oxygen, and that's it. And water, I guess. It's weird to think of water as being part of the atmospherics. Is that silicon? Yeah, that's Si. Oh, I might have already hit this, though. There's a lot of cobalt down here. Hey, didn't know that. It's a lot of cobalt. Oh, good. My mining drill is deciding to... Oh, there it goes. I love when that works. Or doesn't work. So fun. How about adding scrubbers to the system? Yeah, I could have installed scrubbers. Scrubbers are rather pointless, so I think I don't think I'm going to be installing them on version 1.0. I'll put it that way. So the reason scrubbers are pointless is the atmosphere is pure oxygen, albeit cold oxygen. So there's really no way for there to be foreign gas introduced into the base to harm the base in any way unless I jetpack. But my jetpack is all nitrogen gas, so that doesn't really matter. Or I spray paint, which I just won't do indoors. And if I do, I can always use the portable scrubber, so it's not even like it would be that much of a problem if I spray painted indoors, because it's such a small volume of pollutant that gets ejected that you can, you know, that it's inconsequential. It's not going to harm your lungs unless you huff it vigorously. But I'm not Charlie Day, so that's not a plan. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Europa, which originally streamed live on Twitch April 26th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that I'm not looking for game suggestions, as I played this with the no backseating tag enabled. If you'd like to chat with me on my gaming community, Rhadamant.com, or the description of this video have a link to Discord. If you'd like to catch a live stream, Rhadamant.com or Twitch has my schedule. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll have to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Stay warm out there, fellow Europans.